Greetings and salutations, this is Kung Pao Enter the Minute, Minute 14. Opening frame. Master Tang is still holding his hand left to screen, like he's talking to a skull. The Chosen One responds to the question in the previous minute, informing the audience that he's talking to Master Tang, well known for his mad skills, not entirely sure about his Tang though. After the Chosen One informs Master Tang that he's been travelling for many years and miles to find him, Master Tang responds by asking,
"How many miles? Would you say 10 million?
Followed by another whooshing arm swoop. Befuddled, the Chosen One pleads for Master Tang's help as he is constantly under attack, which leads to the response,
Your story makes my heart heavy and my prostate weak. My bladder is full to bursting. I feel for you and your grave loss. However, it will be impossible for us to help you."
with yet another arm swoop. Does this leave the Chosen One without a haven, or a single glimmer of hope for some sort of respite from constant bombardment from Master Pain's forces? The Chosen One implores Master Tang to consider, and in what seems like an eternity but is only a couple of seconds, Master Tang answers,
"Okay."
After a weird jump cut, Master Tang gives the Chosen One the information he requires.
"The man you seek, his name is Master Pain. He has great powers and is well protected by the evil council."
A moth flying into his mouth, causing a coughing fit. On the closing frame, just after Master Tang states that he is in a quandary, yet another moth flies into his mouth, causing Master Tang to react like he's about to sneeze over the Chosen One. Ooh, boy, yeah. Once again, a very dialogue-heavy scene. We kind of get a sense of just kind of how weird Master Tang is. Master Tang is kind of one of the best characters in this movie. I'm not sure if I put it in the previous minutes. He is the actual narrator throughout. His stuff gets really, really weird. But yeah, that's because Stephen Coe absolutely loved this guy. So the moth actually was a thing that Steve Odekirk included in this particular section, because in the original movie, Master Tang, or the character which became Master Tang, was the master of the crane school, and he was originally just ill. So there's a lot of background I might go into a little bit later. I was going about how jokes that don't particularly land, this one doesn't particularly land for me. One thing I do like about this movie is that it was not afraid to try jokes, even jokes that ultimately maybe weren't good or a bit meh. Humor isn't good or bad in a binary. There is a bit of scale. Some things are hilarious, some things are just mildly amusing, some are like, and some things just don't land. That's kind of why they use the expression, do they land or not? It's funny how in comedy you've got this whole idea of dying and death. The whole thing of the stand-up comedian dying on stage or killing the audience. Comedy is weird. I guess that's why so many weirdos get into comedy. But basically, the Tiger and Crane were two different schools that were separated, and they kind of had to come back together to defeat the evil guy, which again we'll probably talk about more in depth later. Jimmy Wang Yu's character is the last surviving member of the Tiger School, and he's come to the Crane School to join forces, learn each other's ways, and in an attempt to defeat the character that is Master Pain. This section actually comes relatively early in the original film, probably a few minutes earlier than actually presented in this, but roughly about the same place. And the scene that precedes this in the original movie is actually the Waterfall Scene. So you can see where, by observing the original film, Odekirk basically chopped and changed everything around, which is not unusual, but a lot of MST3K style redubs tend to try and keep the original as much as possible and then just overdub onto the original. That's how a lot of the live versions tend to go. It's, of course, you're doing it live, you have to do it. No way, you can't just chop and change it around. But some of the redub movies have attempted to do recut. Again, nothing as bonkers as Kung Pao, which does make this a very unique thing. This isn't unique of a movie in the sense of it's a redub, but it's a unique sense of it has so much attention to detail put in, or the digital replacement, so much crazy stuff going on, and it's such a unique experience that, like it or not, I've met people that don't like this movie. It's an accomplishment in and of itself, that especially how movies like this can ever get made. This particular minute is one where it's all dialogue, is very few jokes, but I think it's important to set up. We need to kind of establish this relationship between the Chosen One, the Crane School, Master Tang. We get a bit more humour in the next minute, particularly with Wimplo. And of course, later on, we establish more of the other characters and concepts. But for now, I think we might as well just move straight on to the audio commentary, in which Steve and Paul are praising the original director, Jimmy Wang Yu.
So in regards to the Jimmy Wang Yu issue, who's just, I don't know if anybody knows his films. He's legendary. He was the big deal before Bruce Lee, and I love he directed also.
And even during and after, it's like I was not a huge martial arts fan, the somewhat, and I recognize him. He's been in, he's hundreds.
He's wonderful, and he's a really solid director, and had really unique stuff that he would do. So just great talent.
So there's this ongoing thing about the Chosen One and trying to gain a pie from Master Tang. However, he does drop this nugget of truth, and I think I'm going to call it canon.
And to boot, you're reptilian. I did not think a man could possess both muscle tissue, skin, and scales.
And finally, I don't know, this piece of the audiobook just kind of made me laugh.
My bladder is full to bursting.
So, thank you for listening. I know this is a short one. There's not much to talk about, especially because there's like several minutes of this particular scene, and I'm trying to stretch this out, man. 14 episodes in, you run out of things to say, and these podcasts are about 10 minutes long each, except for the two that prove the rule. Talking to another person is going to extend your podcasting direction. You can't really talk to another person for 10 minutes. You could. I can't. I don't want to. In 10 minutes, wow. You're only just starting to say something, then you stop. Nah, bucket that. Let's waffle on for an hour and have some really fun, entertaining stuff. But if you want to hear me waffle on, please pay me for my waffling at Ko-fi or Patreon. The links are in the description. As always, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell if you're on YouTube. I'm on YouTube and SoundCloud for all this kind of nonsense. I'm on Facebook as well. Check out Kung Pao, Enter the Minute on Facebook and Family Cross. Oh boy, it's I honestly just can't believe I've been going for almost 3 months by the time this comes out. It's been kind of an amazing, fun experience, and I can't believe I'm still at it. Oh boy, but until next time, please keep safe, and I'll see you next time.